It's a fully owned subsidiary of Itochu Corp in Japan. We started in Sri Lanka in 2005 as a BOI registered company for producing Cavendish bananas for export market. We have about 1,700 people working for us in 6 plantations.
We have promises under corporate level and we are contributing also. These promises are providing good nutrition for 1 billion people by year 2025. Net zero carbon emission in our operations by 2030. Zero landfill fruit waste by 2025. Zero processed sugar of all our products by 2025. Shared value for all our stakeholders. Our vision is actually to transform our practices from conventional agriculture to regenerative agriculture in long run. We have started this around 2017 because we stopped totally application of herbicides in our plantations.
Dole is 170 years old. It's a fully owned subsidiary of Itochu Corp in Japan. We started in Sri Lanka in 2005 as a BOI registered company for producing Cavendish bananas for export market. We have about 1,700 people working for us in 6 plantations, and we export about 17,000 tons per annum. The restoration of mangrove projects in Anavilandava is a partnership with Biodiversity Sri Lanka. We initially will be restoring 3 hectares of degraded mangroves, which was once supposed to be a prawn farm and abandoned. This would offset about 50 tons of carbon dioxide per annum. It is expected to boost the local community and the environment. Mangroves are a hotspot for biodiversity, providing and nestling breeding habitat of fish, shellfish, sea turtles and migratory birds. And it also acts as a barrier, natural barrier of coastal defense on coastal communities from increasing storms, hurricanes and surges. It is also a carbon storage and also provides local communities with livelihood opportunities through fisheries and ecotourism. Lastly but not the least, it is essential for water quality treatment, where due to its dense network of roots, it traps and filters the sediments, heavy metals and also other pollutants in the water for water quality. Our CSR initiatives are focused on specific areas. Our effort is to improve the livelihoods of our community in the vicinity of our farms. So we have many focused areas, like from hospitals to temples, from school children to other community centers. One of our main focused areas are like students of low income families, where the poverty has hindered them to continue education. So with the collaboration of the Buttala Divisional Secretariat, we have identified to provide stationaries annually for these low-income family students to have a continuous education, and we have extended this into Piriven education also, and also the Sunday schools education, because we believe that providing spiritual learning to a young child is very important for that person to be a complete person, and thereby provide positive social values in the areas we operate.
Regenerative agriculture, our vision is actually to transform our practices from conventional agriculture to regenerative agriculture in long run. We have started this around 2017 because we stopped totally application of herbicides in our plantations, and we are now managing or controlling it manually because the glyphosate was the chemical that we used previously to control weeds after the banning of glyphosate in the country, but recently the ban was lifted. But anyway, controlling now totally herbicide free farming, because we have seen a lot of improvement in biodiversity, water quality, and the plant response by stopping this agrochemical in our plantations. So that motivates us to start the regenerative agriculture practices, where we are trying to develop technology to apply compost, and then after that substitute the inorganic or synthetic chemicals that we are using in the farm. But this is not the conventional organic farming, where we try to provide a nutrient using the conventional compost. But here we focus a lot on biology, improvement of the compost, and improve the biology in the soil, where the soil can naturally cycle the nutrients, and the organism can improve the soil health. We are developing actually certain technologies to improve our composting process with the right biology, and applying it in the field to enhance the microbial diversity, basically a beneficial microorganism in the soil. So we have invested on a microbiological laboratory in 2020 to multiply those beneficial organisms. And also we are planning to invest on a big composting facility as well in this year to enhance our practices. Also, this compost, what we are trying to do is apply on top of banana residues that we have in the field, and help those residues to decompose rapidly, and do the needful in the soil, so that in the long run we can reduce the use of fertilizers and other synthetic agrochemicals. And that is basically on regenerative agriculture, the things that we are doing. Also, we are producing compost liquids, where we extract the organism from the compost that we produce, and brew it and multiply these organisms, and apply it to the soil, because this will help us to improve the biology in our soil, since we are not applying any agrochemical on the ground, especially, as I said, no any herbicides on the ground. So this will create a good environment for these living organisms to live and support the plant. In return, we will, I think, get the expected improvement of our yield. We will also be able to control the diseases in the field by outcompeting the pathogens using these organisms. Under the sustainability projects in Dole Lanka, especially, that we have several projects. As I explained earlier, the regenerative agriculture project is the most recent project that we started. We have requested the expertise from outside experts as well to help us to develop a strategy on regenerative agriculture, and develop trials and find best alternative which can be practically implemented in the field without compromising the crop yield. Basically, from the past, we are doing our fertilizer recommendations site specifically, where we do not apply overdoses, and we analyze the soil and the tissue and the yield of the plantations, and each farm is given fertilizer recommendation every year, and depending on the nutrient levels of the crop. And this allow us to control the fertilizer applications without damaging the environment. And also recently, with the objective of neutralizing carbon by 2030, or neutralizing the emission of carbon by the company, we have studied the carbon footprint of the company, and we have identified the areas to reduce the emissions, and we are working on reducing those emissions, as well as there are several projects for insetting and offsetting the emissions that we have. And as explained earlier, like a mangrove project, we are planning to offset around 50 tons of carbon per year with this project that we have initiated. Also, we are planning to install a 200 kilowatt renewable energy project in next year to inset some of our emissions. In Itochu Corporation, we have the philosophy of Sampayoshi. Finally, the product that we produce is good for buyer, good for seller, and good for the society. And also we have promises at corporate level. These promises are providing good nutrition for 1 billion people by year 2025, net zero carbon emission in our operations by 2030, zero landfill fruit waste by 2025, zero processed sugar of all our products by 2025, shared value for all our stakeholders. Those are the promises made by our corporate, and we are contributing to several of those promises. Like we are expanding our grower base here and improving our productivity, and diversifying into other local fruits to provide the nutrition to the consumers that we are dealing with, and expand our consumer base. And also with net zero carbon, we are very active with our mangrove projects, reduction of emissions, regenerative agriculture projects, and renewable energy projects that we are planning to do in the future. Also, we are converting all our banana residues and waste to vermicompost, and used it back in our field with our regenerative agriculture projects. So those are some initiatives that we are doing to align the corporate promises.